It is only 7 days in to us having a new president, and the stock market is down big today. And I mean, this is one of the worst days that I've seen, especially if you holding on to NVIDIA. Talk about more on why that is later. But NVIDIA had its worst day ever today, right now, worst day ever, down almost 20% in one trading day. A lot of people are blaming that on China, right? Is China the cause for this, or is it our hubris, right? And that's going to be the word of the day for this video, hubris. Now, what does hubris mean? Of course, you can go on Google, right? Check it out. I'm going to tell you right now, hubris is excessive confidence. Too much confidence is never a good thing, all right? Because you're always going to overlook something. And with us having a new president, and I call it Trump mania or MAGA mania, everybody's got so much confidence about what's going to happen with the future. Now, I want you to comment below, all right? I got a real good question for you. Is Trump really bad for business, right? All of this tough talk that is going on a global level, right? Is this something that is going to end up not paying off that well for us? Because by the looks of it, I mean, who likes to be talked down to, right? Who likes to be told that there's a new guy on the block and he's going to be taking your lunch? I mean, obviously, nobody likes that. But I want you to comment below. I'm going to give you 3 options, all right? You type the number that you most agree with, all right? So here we go. Number 1, is Trump bad for business? Do you feel like in the long run that this thing is not going to end like people are expecting it to? This is bad. The things that are being done with the new policies and things like that, is this going to hurt America? All right. So if you believe that that's the case, I want you to comment below number 1. All right. Now, next option, number 2. All right. Is he going to bring America back? All right. Do you feel like we are entering a new golden age, as people will call it? Do you think that these new policies and these new investments that are being done is going to bring America back, right? Everything that's being done with AI and the border and trying to make Canada one of our states, right? Is that something that is going to do wonders for our economy, bringing us back? Or number 3, do you think that the powers that be, all right, are going to punish the American people for allowing him to get elected? All right. Are they going to say, well, because you all allowed this to happen, then everybody's going to pay the price? And how are you going to pay the price? There's going to be jobs lost. You're going to have the stock market crash. Real estate, we'll talk about what could happen with that later on. But do you think that the American people are going to get punished for bringing in an outsider? All right, because remember, even though he's got money, he's not part of the swamp or whatever, whatever you like to call it, right? Which one? 1, bad for business. 2, America's back. Or 3, we're going to get punished for letting this guy get into office. Now, when I say letting him get back into office, I'm not saying I voted for him. I'm not saying I voted against him. I actually didn't vote at all because I really didn't like the options that were presented to me. So, chose the couch, all right? You can call it what you want. Doesn't make a difference for me. I'm a free thinker. Think for myself. Now, the one thing that I always tell people is that nobody really needs nobody, right? Not to quote Player Fly, but I guess to quote Player Fly. Very interesting song. If you want to go check it out. But nobody needs nobody. And what we are finding out is that the entire world does not need the United States like we think they do. All right. Perfect example with what's going on today. All right. So there's a company in China DeepSeek AI, they just figured out that they can run their AI software generating, or let's just say they can run their AI software more efficiently than previously thought. And that means that they're not going to need our computer chip technology as previously thought. Just an example of why or how the world does not need us as much as we think they do. Simply, they don't need our chips, all right? Now, we found that out with the Joe Biden presidency when he tried to put, well, he did actually put sanctions on Russia. And what did they do? They just formed their own trading bloc and they just shifted right past it, right? And it looks like over the next couple of years or next 4 years, we're going to find that out with Trump in office. We're going to find out that, okay, all the saber rattling, all the things that we're saying that people need us for, they don't actually need us for. And that can have big consequences for us as a people, as a country, and more importantly, as an economy. Now, before we get into what could happen with real estate, now it looks like the stock market could be crashing. Jeans Crew, you know what time it is. I know you know. Drop the track. Welcome back. It is Mark Jenkins, a trusted realtor, the market genius. I am suited up today, not because I am going to a funeral or not because we are witnessing the funeral for NVIDIA. We actually had a very nice couple close on the home today. Shout out to them. Got a beautiful brand new house, great price, interest rate at about 5.1%. Hey, I think it's a win for them. But if it's your first time here, I am a realtor here, Metro Atlanta. Been doing this almost 10 years. Great experience for most clients. Well, if you check my reputation online, I don't have anything but a 5-star review. So if you're one of those people that wants to jump in the comments like the last video and debate me about what's going on in real estate, just understand you're talking to somebody who does this, right? Okay? I do this for a living. I'm not going to come up to your job and tell you you don't know what you're doing. So if you want to jump in the comments and debate, by all means, go for it. But if you're like the normal person and you appreciate great content, I want you to like this video, share, and of course, subscribe. Now, it looks like that we may be witnessing a massive correction in the stock market. I could be wrong, okay? Whatever happened today could easily end up spinning right back around. We finish out the week at a great high, all right? But if it is, a lot of people are wondering, what happens if the stock market crashes? Will that make the real estate market crash? And the short answer is no. And there are many factors involved with trying to figure out what's going on with real estate and how a crashing stock market would affect real estate. But let me just give you the quick answer, right? If the stock market were to crash, right? Let's just say we wake up tomorrow and it's even worse than it was today, right? Because I mean, the S&P 500 at one point was down almost 4% in pre-market, right? So let's just say we wake up, stock market is crashed, everything's on fire. What happens to the housing market? Well, the good news is that will cause interest rates to come down. And I know you're probably like, well, how does that work? All right. Well, the reason why that will cause interest rates to go down is because a lot of investors, they would flee stocks. Stock market starts crashing. They're going to get out of stocks, get into bonds. And when there's more demand for bonds, right? So more people buying bonds, that drives the price of bonds up, but it drives the yield down. So very similar to what we saw in 2020 could happen, right? In 2020, they thought the stock market and really the world economy was going to crash. And so everybody rushed into bonds. And when they rushed into bonds, what that caused is the yields to go down. And that's how we ended up with 2.5% interest rates. And that lit the housing market on fire. All right. Now, the other side of it, of course, is if the stock market crashes and you don't have a job, then how you going to buy a house without a job? I mean, that's just It's just regular math, right? But only time will tell, because right now it looks like we are investing billions of dollars into something that the world doesn't want. With everything that we're doing with AI and computer chips, it looks like the world doesn't want it. So we'll just have to see what happens with the economy, with the housing market. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? So like I told you, 2020, low rates exploded the market. If you go back to 2008, the last time stocks crashed before 2020, I guess 2020 was like a really, really quick down and right back up, right? So you go back to 2008, yes, interest rates did go down, but the housing market really tanked with the stock market, and that was because 2008 was bad for everybody, all right? Not only did the stock market crash, but you also had people without jobs. And obviously, can't buy if you don't have a job. And then those people who were on those ninja loans, like those no income stated loans, when they tried to refinance because rates were lower, they were not able to. So that's another thing that happened in 2008. And then lastly, in 2000, you did have refinances surge, but activity with the housing market stalled for quite a bit, some time, right? I mean, it just looks like we're in for it. I don't know. Like, I want to be optimistic. We're only 7 days in, and I really want to feel like this is going to be a great 4 years. But 7 days in, it's got me a little spooked. I ain't going to lie. Not even going to lie. Because what I saw in the markets today, I don't know. Could this be an omen for the future? Is this a sign of what is to come under Trump? People deciding that they don't need us, investing in the wrong things, too much tough talk around the global market. I don't know. We'll see. And the last thing I want to talk about is just job losses. Now, if you have been looking for a job, you understand that a lot of these job numbers that they're putting out right now, they're completely bull malarkey, right? The numbers that they are reporting when it comes to jobs and how many are available, like my wife, she is a teacher, and she's looking to possibly change professions if she finds the right one. And it seems like every time she applies for a job, she's like, man, there were 600 people that applied for this job in only a couple of hours. So if there is one job that somebody's hiring for, 600 people apply for it, you can only hire one person, then what happens to the other 599, right? They're also going to be, looking for something in the future as well. But I don't know. If you made it this far, at least rock with me as we continue to grow this channel. Like, share, subscribe. We're only going to continue to get better. We got more things coming in the future. I'm the Market Genius. Peace.